Listen closely, because I won't repeat myself. There comes a moment in every warrior's life when the world stops pretending to be kind and finally shows you its teeth. Some people call that moment trauma, some call it loss, some call it betrayal. I call it origin. You think you're broken because life crushed you. No, life was merely sculpting the version of you that polite society hoped would never emerge. The version you were always meant to become. Tell me, did you really believe legends are born from comfort? Did you believe resolve is built in silence? Did you believe strength grows in the warm hands of those who understand you? No, strength is built by the ones who leave. Resolve is forged by the nights when you couldn't breathe. Discipline is carved from the days when you prayed for anyone, to save you and nobody came. That ache inside your chest, that heaviness behind your eyes, that fire that refuses to die, that's the monster the world forced you to bury. The one you were told to lock away, the one you were told was too much, too intense, too cold, too focused. But monsters aren't born evil. Monsters are simply people who ran out of reasons to stay soft. Look at the heroes you admire. Naruto, with the weight of loneliness pressing on his ribs. Itachi carrying an entire village in his silence. Levi losing every reason he once had to smile. Aizen pretending to obey a world unworthy of him. Madara watching his dreams burn until all that remained was certainty. These aren't heroes. These aren't villains. These are lessons. Lessons written in pain deeper than anything you've survived. Lessons that say, the world will not reward you for your kindness. It will test you until something inside you breaks. And what you do in that moment will define everything. So let me ask you again, what did you become when everything fell apart? Because there are only two paths. Either you stayed on your knees, telling the world you tried, or you stood up without waiting for permission and allowed your pain to evolve into power. And don't lie, you felt it, didn't you? That shift, the moment the fear dissolved, the moment the old you died quietly, like an abandoned echo, the moment you realized that no one is coming, and strangely, it no longer terrified you. That was your rebirth. But rebirth is not glory. Rebirth is ugly. Rebirth is violent. Rebirth requires you to tear out the weaker parts of yourself with your own hands. Every hero has a graveyard inside them, a place where the older, softer versions were buried because they couldn't survive what was coming next. And you've been carrying corpses of your past self for too long. Memories of who you wanted to be, regrets of who you failed to be, expectations of who you were supposed to be. Let them rot. The world doesn't reward the gentle dreamer who waits for life to change. It rewards the one who rips the door open with bloodied knuckles and eyes full of fire. But here's the truth nobody told you. The pain that forged you didn't just create a monster. It created a weapon forged from nights of silence, a weapon sharpened by disappointment, a weapon tempered by betrayal, a weapon awakened by the realization that nobody is obligated to believe in you. And that's why you're dangerous, because you've suffered enough to understand the truth. You don't rise because someone lifts you up. You rise because you refuse to stay down. But listen before you open your eyes fully, before you step into the version of you waiting in the dark. You must understand the rules of the path you're entering. This is the road of the anti-hero, the fallen one, the misunderstood one, the one who saves what they can and destroys what they must. On this path, you will lose people, not because you failed them, but because they feared the storm you've become. Power isolates, transformation alienates, evolution demands sacrifice. And when you realize just how far you can go, when you feel the monster stretch beneath your skin, hungry not for chaos, but for destiny, you'll understand why the world never wanted you to reach this point, because nothing is more terrifying than someone who has mastered their darkness, not escaped it, not healed it, mastered it. And you are closer to that mastery than you've ever admitted. But we're not done, not even close, because the moment the monster awakens, the world will test you again, harder, crueler, with challenges meant to crush the version of you that's rising. Which brings us not to the end, but to the threshold. And on the other side, the true transformation waits. The part where you stop running from your past and start using it as the fuel that will ignite everything ahead of you. Now step forward. Part 2 begins where fear ends. Good. You didn't turn back. That means there's still something burning inside you, a piece of your spirit that refuses to die, even when the world convinced you it should. Now, listen carefully, because from this point on, the path becomes darker and far more honest. The monster inside you was never your enemy. It was never the villain of your story. It was the only part of you strong enough to withstand what your heart could not. Think back. Every time life shattered you, every betrayal, every loss, every humiliating fail, you felt something shift deep in your chest. That wasn't despair, that was awakening. That was the moment your soul realized, if I keep relying on hope, I will die. So it built something else, something colder, something sharper, something that could survive what innocence could not. That's the monster, your monster, the guardian forged by your pain. People misunderstand this power. They think darkness means destruction. They think anger means danger. They think intensity means you've lost control. But they are wrong. Darkness is not the absence of light. Darkness is where light is trained, where character is tempered, where weakness is burned away. Do you know why anti-heroes rise higher than heroes? Because heroes act from hope. Anti-heroes act from certainty, the certainty that pain teaches more than comfort, the certainty that suffering shapes more than praise. The certainty that the world rarely rewards kindness, but it always respects strength. Your pain did not break you. It forced you to evolve faster than others. While they were given support, you were given silence. While they were given guidance, you were given consequences. While they were given understanding, you were given expectations. You were never allowed to fail. That's why you walk differently. That's why you think differently. That's why your emotions feel heavier, sharper, harder to contain. You weren't raised, you were forged, and forged beings are dangerous. Because you do not fear rock bottom, you built your home there. You do not fear loneliness, you made peace with it. You do not fear pain, you learned to sharpen it into focus. Tell me, do you know what that means? It means you've already survived everything that was supposed to destroy you. And if life couldn't kill you then, what could possibly stop you now? But the transformation truly begins here. You must choose what your monster becomes. Not every beast is meant to be a destroyer. Some are meant to be protectors. Some are meant to be kings. Some are meant to walk alone, carrying a purpose heavier than their scars. This is the test, the one every fallen hero must face. Will you let your pain turn you cold, or will you let it turn you certain? Will you let your suffering make you bitter, Or will you let it make you inevitable? Look at your past once more, not with grief, but with clarity. Every person who left carved space for your discipline. Every mistake you made refined your vision. Every humiliation built the humility needed for greatness. Every night you questioned your worth forged the resolve to never ask again. Nothing was wasted, nothing was meaningless, nothing was accidental. Your pain was a blueprint for the monster who would rise when the human inside you became too tired to continue. And now that monster stands at your back, silent, powerful, unshakable, waiting for you to stop fearing your own potential. So here is the final truth you must accept. The version of you that survived hell is the version of you destined to conquer everything ahead. Not the hopeful child, not the hesitant dreamer, not the broken soul begging for peace. No, the warrior, the anti-hero. The one who understands that darkness is not a curse, it is a crown. And once you wear it fully, the world will feel your presence long before it sees your face. This is your moment. The moment the world realizes you didn't rise because you were chosen. You rose because you refused to die. Carry that truth with you. Let it sit on your shoulders like armor. Let it guide every step, every decision, every battle. Because the pain that forged you did not create something fragile. It created something the world is not ready for. Something unstoppable, something undeniable, something reborn from the ashes of every loss you endured. Call it a monster, call it a warrior, call it whatever you want. But know this, it is you. And now the world will have no choice but to witness what you become next.